Hey guys, this is Nick from ReviewOutlaw.com. Today I'm going to show you the first time that we visited Italy and the 10 must-sees that I'd recommend seeing.
ReviewOutlaw.com. New videos every Thursday at 3 p.m. Subscribe today.
Okay, so we left Boston October 25th. This was 2019, so before any of the COVID stuff. We left on Norwegian, a Norwegian flight, which we get a great deal on it because Norwegian was actually stopping direct flights from Boston to Rome. So it only cost us $230 for the direct ticket from Boston to Rome. So that was a big plus on the trip, because travel can add up to a lot. So the total we spent on travel from getting from Boston to Rome, traveling around with the train, taxis, things like that, and then back to the States again was about $1,500. And we mainly stayed in Airbnbs. Notice they're about 20 to 30% cheaper than hotels. So we spent about $3,000 on Airbnbs. Some locations we did stay in hotels. And food, we spent about $2,500 on that. It was about a 17-day trip, so overall we spent about $6,000, which is pretty good. Now you could go in much higher end hotels, Airbnb, spend a lot more money. Also go the other way, save a lot of money on food, and just do the bare minimum. So that's, for a decent trip, that's kind of what you're looking at spending. So a couple of the things to notice about the Airbnbs: there are no breakfasts there, so you have to get your own, which is fine. Go out and get some cappuccino, things like that. The reason that I went with Airbnbs was you get 2 bedrooms, which is nice, just more privacy if somebody's snoring, things like that. It also has more of a bit of a local feel to it. So Rome itself, really liked that city. Everything was very close, so you could walk there or take the train there. The distance was not that far. We did do a lot of walking on the trip, probably was 7 to 10 miles on average. But I felt it was very clean, the food was great, the prices on things were very reasonable. So I really like this. Is one of my favorite cities. Now I've also gone to France and different other cities, and a lot of places in the United States, but I really did enjoy Rome. Not a huge city person, but I think this was definitely a nice place to visit. Stayed here for about 4 or 5 days, and then we started taking the train to the next place. The Vatican is somewhere that you definitely want to stop in and check. The lines were super, super long. We probably waited 2 hours just to get in through the security checkpoint. So would recommend getting there early and just try to not wait in those lines. Now we did pay to see the St. Peter's Basilica, do the stair climb. Something kind of funny is that in the United States, the stairs would definitely not be to code. All weird shapes and angles and things like that, and a bit hard to navigate. This is quite a lot of stairs. If you're doing knee problems or anything like that, might be tough for you. Here's the Airbnb that we stayed in Rome. I'll try to put a link in the show notes to the direct one if you ever wanted to stay at this one. Really enjoyed this one. The locals met us there. Gave some great tips around where to eat and things like that. It had a very homey feel, and it just was really cool. You could get your own food there. We had a kitchen, had 2 bathrooms. You can take 2 showers at the same time, which is nice. Had a nice big feel, and for the price, it was less than the hotels and things like that, and right in the center of everything, which was great. So when you want to walk around, get some food, everything is very close, which is cool. Now, one thing I would recommend doing for traveling around the city is get an RFID credit card, which the new ones will have a little RFID sign on them, or also using your iPhone, making sure it has the RFID payment system, because if you jump on a bus or traveling around, it's nice to have that payment option to pay. You can also go to a local train station and get the cards and preload them with money on there. I would also recommend doing that. That's what we did because we just didn't have it with us. So the Colosseum is a must-see. Again, the lines get super, super long. Now, if you have anyone who's handicapped or disabled, you can actually skip the long lines by just going to the front, showing them a cane, stuff like that. They don't need any special cards or anything like that, and they'll let you bypass the long lines to get in. Another way, because the lines, you can wait 3 hours sometimes to get in, depending on the height of the season, is you can pay someone for a quote-unquote a tour, and it's only $20-$30. You don't have to stay with them the whole time, but I would recommend doing that just because I hate waiting in lines. Now, me personally, I just like to look around, look at the things. I don't like to get too deep into all the different history and things of things, but I just like to see it. One cool thing is you can fill up your water bottles at these local water fountains too. I did stop by a CrossFit gym, super friendly, super nice. Got a good workout in there. What's nice is just the local feel, very upbeat, positive people. But yeah, I definitely stopped in and looked at some different artwork and stuff like that. I think it's cool too. It's just something that I'm not super into, but it's still fun to look at and things like that. I just like to get active, get exercise, walk around, see the different things. So the public transportation, really cool, very cheap and efficient way to get around. The only thing is you want to be careful at the actual train station. There are a lot of thieves. Next we went to Naples. By the water is really nice by Naples, but we actually ended up walking to our hotel, and Naples is pretty sketchy. This is actually one place that I'd probably skip if I ever went back and did it again. I would have gone directly to Pompeii, because some of the areas in Naples do not seem so safe. Now, Pompeii, on the other hand, beautiful. They're just really nice views. You have the volcano that went off, and they're just discovering new things. Actually, still today, but I could walk around Pompeii all day and not see everything. So that's a place that I would definitely see. But Naples, I would not bother to go back. I would actually skip that. Now, Pompeii, there's different people as you walk into the location. They try to get you to give you a tour and stuff like that. Some can get kind of pushy. So we had one particular lady that was really after us to get a tour. No. She was just going to kind of follow us actually into the location itself, trying to get us to get this tour thing that we didn't want to do. One thing to know, if you leave this particular location, you can't get back in without paying again. So something to look for. Next, we went over to Florence. Beautiful, beautiful city. A little bit more rural, more to kind of nature. You have the countryside around there and stuff like that. We stayed in Airbnb a little bit out of the city, so it was a bit of a walk to get in there. Love the cappuccinos, by the way, in Italy. Oh, I can't have enough cappuccinos. They're so good. But yeah, Florence was more nature, more walking around. Everything's a little bit further apart. Definitely recommend checking out the gardens. That was a really fun thing to do on a nice day. And yeah, I really like Florence, wine country, so definitely take a trip out one day and see the wine. So speaking of wine, we did a TripAdvisor. It was about $100. They pick you up on a bus and take you out to a couple of vineyards, and it includes the wine tasting and different things like that. That was a fun thing to do if you're into drinking, but the wines are so good. I got hooked on Italian wine while I was in Italy. And once I got back to the States, I'm like, I gotta get some more Italian wines. So, they're very well flavored. But yeah, fun thing to do. Check out the vineyards. They're super friendly. You go with a tour group, and I enjoy that. So the last city that we stopped by was Venice. This is actually probably my favorite city out of all the cities in Italy. It's surrounded by water. It's pretty much an island, and you take the train to get in, and then you gotta basically take a water taxi to get your, we stayed in Airbnb again. They have these different taxis. It's a little bit tricky to figure the schedules out and stuff like that, but eventually we did figure it out. But I love the water, love the ocean, lakes, anything like that. It's very peaceful, but very, very unique city, almost like a maze. It was like little corridors, and I mean, you kept getting turned around. There's little bridges everywhere. It's almost like a secret society kind of thing, but the restaurants were great, right on the water. so many great restaurants on the water. One thing I like about Italy, as you walk past them, the restaurant owners are actually out there trying to get you to get in. Come here, try my food. It's so wonderful, so great. Really, really great service. In America, a lot of times you're inconveniencing them, at least on the East Coast, even just to sit down and eat. They're like, oh, really, you want to eat here? But over there in Italy, they're so friendly, so happy to see you. It's just a really nice difference. A lot of places to walk around in Venice. Did a lot of walking around, but there's no fences or guards. You could fall right in the water, which is nice. But the hotels you can pull right up to. It's just one of my favorite cities that we stayed at. Now a gondola ride, I'd say, is a must if you're in Venice. You can spend anywhere from $100 to $200 on a gondola ride. Depends on how busy they are and how long of a trip you want. I think we spent about $100, and it was a good amount of time, just enough. I don't think I'd want to spend too much longer in there. But you can just basically, you walk up and, hey, gondola ride, they hop you on, give you a quick tour around. They go in some tight places. It's amazing the control they have over that gondola. The bridges they go under, they're so good at navigating the water. It's just absolutely amazing to watch them. As someone who's been a boater and been on water his whole life, to control that boat and the traffic back and forth, it's so cool to watch. And then when the ambulance comes by, they actually have the ambulance on the water, and man, they throw up some waves because they go in full speed. So to watch the gondolas take those waves, and no big deal, so much fun to watch. So masks and glass are a huge part of Venice. They have the different glass blowing factories and things like that you can take a tour of. The masks, they have a million mask stores. So they have like the mask, parades and things like that. So something cool depending on the time of year that you're visiting as well that you can see. So there was no direct flights back to Boston, so instead we took a direct flight over to London and then spent 3 or 4 days in London, and I'm gonna actually do a separate video on that, so look out for that video. Overall, hope you guys liked the video, and give me a thumbs up if you did. Thanks.
Hey, I really appreciate you watching this video. If you have time, please give me a thumbs up, share the video on Facebook or social media, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get a notification when new videos come out. Finally, if you leave me a comment, I love those. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, guys.